Okay. It's time to begin. It is an odd day. Cross with your least favorite cross. That's what we do on odd days, just to make sure that we get some evenness. I'll never forget when a certain senior teacher told me that one day her teacher told her she could cross with the least favorite cross, and she couldn't remember which was her least favorite cross. So that's where I'd like to get to myself someday. Okay, so lean forward and really, reach back here and move that flesh that's on your sitting bones back and a little bit out to the side. Okay, then sit back down. Sit up tall and straight, even go a little bit back more because we tend to be focused on the screen. Use your hands now. Lift yourself up, really roll that very, very outer back corner of your shoulder back. And raise up that spine all the way, from the perineum all the way up to the last cervical vertebra. Look a little bit beyond your horizon. Keeping all that, then bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes completely. And allow the uprightness of the body and the smoothness of your breath. Start to bring your mind to a place where it says, okay, now, Atha, now I am ready to begin my yoga practice. I'm trying to dust away the cobwebs that are in my brain and come to this present moment completely, earnestly, devotedly. Be there completely in your quietude, seeking out that inner, truest self, that connection to the infinite within. Feel that very, very essence of your pure being as you bow to that pure being, which is the heart. Salute the practice, salute the inner being. Release your hands and then slowly lift the head up and open the eyes. Okay, so it is back bends, and you guys know how I always run out of time, so I'm going to really try to basically do less poses, but stay a little bit longer. So that's my goal today. And the blanket statement is, you can't stay as long, you come down. But when you come down, you might need a little bit of a break right away, but try to do something that is similar to the action that we were just doing in the pose that you had to come out of. All right, so the first thing is Adho Mukha Svanasana with the hands turned out 90 degrees, so the thumb and index finger at the wall. This gets that inner upper arm to turn, the outer upper arm to suck in. So I'll place my hands, push firmly into the wall, and then reach those legs up. Come up high, high, high on your tippy toes, and really lift those hips and press the very, very tops of your thighs back. I'm not so concerned about getting the heels down on this first one, but I want the thighs to come back as much as possible and those outer upper arms to suck in. The armpit chest has a lot to do with our extension and our back bends. So we really have to get the armpits open in this version. Yeah, and if you don't have a wall, you know, fine. You could even maybe find a piece of furniture that's heavy enough that you could stick your hands on. Drive those shoulder blades deeper into your back, Mike. Move them, move them. Yeah, push the wall. Push the wall away from you and move this. Don't just take your head. Don't move your head. Just let your head dangle and move the shoulder blades deeper in. Okay. All right, now come down. So you're going to compare these two things. So the next one, you'll take the bricks like this. Bricks, blocks, whatever you'd like to call them. But they're the long way. Okay. And they're at the wall. So then I place the heel of my hand kind of hooked on that and my fingers extend forward. Okay, and then I'm on all fours. I turn those upper arms. Okay, now's your chance to get your heels down because you're much higher, so you're longer. So I push, and eventually I get those heels down. I turn the tops of the thighs, the inner thighs in, and the backs of the thighs out. Look at the skin. You guys observe yourselves here and look at the skin on the front of your ankles. Observe that skin. More than likely, unless you're a perfect human being, you will have the wrinkles on your front ankle will not be even. One foot will have more wrinkles on the outside than the inside. Observe your own wrinkles at the front of your ankle and work on making them even. Usually, well, for me, I'll say, on my right leg, that is my right hip that has the osteoporosis, I have to really press down on the outer foot much more for those wrinkles to get absolutely even. Straighten your knees, Doug. Straighten your knees, press back. Use the wall strongly, the bricks strongly to push. Move those shoulder blades in. Feel how those outer upper arms have to suck in. Spread open the backs of your knees. There's 3 places that get very stiff as we age, and that they are, you know, the shoulders. Therefore, the armpits get stiff, the knees, definitely the knees, and the thoracic spine. It just, as we age, we can't help it. It's just nature. That's what happens. Okay, so you've done your best there. Okay, now come down and then stand up and have a belt and have it so it's, you know, these are the regular belts that we have at the studio normally. And I like these because they're a little bit thinner and therefore a little friendlier on your back, but I've got it looped. So you're going to use whatever you can use. Let's see, I'm going to stand. I'll show you both ways, but I'm going to stand almost the width of my sticky mat, very wide, like that, in Namaste, right, which is another form of Tadasana. So I'm standing like this. Now I'm going to turn. Then I'm going to put this belt on at the base of my rib cage on my back body. And you're going to have an attempt at your first standing back arch. Now, nobody's doing a standing back arch just yet, but you're going to get the idea of what has to happen to do a standing back arch. These ribs, this whole rib cage structure has to go up. Can you see how much I'm pulling on those straps? My trapezium and my shoulders are staying down, and I'm tugging on that strap so much. Oh, it's lifting up, it's opening up my pelvis, and then I can take the thighs a little bit forward and just go back, just this much. See if you can bring at least your face parallel to the ceiling. You don't have to go back very much if it's not comfortable, or Marcia or anybody else with any neck, cervical issues, you can keep your chin tucked. You can, here's a version. You can keep your chin tucked, and I pull. I hope you realize how strongly I'm using the belt on my back ribs to lift those back ribs, lift up, and I can do it this way. Let my thighs come a little bit forward. Okay, that's all you're doing. Try it 2-3 times. Doug, you okay? Okay. Yeah, pull on that belt. Lift your rib cage up. Roll the shoulders back. Keep the trapezium moving down your back and your shoulder blades moving into your back. Elbows in close. Elbows in close. Yeah, and don't just stay. You can, well, if you're comfortable, you can stay, but repetition in this pose is valuable. Make sure your feet are the width of your sticky mat, just about. Wide. Yeah, it's a wide samasthiti or a wide tadasana. Yeah, and you can let the knees bend just ever so slightly. Take those thighs forward. And Suzette, so instead of, really fanning out with the hands, keep the hands in close. I'll show you what it looks like here in front. Keep the hands in close. All right. So that's the direction that the spine, the rib cage has to move in, all the back bends basically. All right, so now, now you still have your belt. Take your chair. I forgot if I did I say you needed a chair? Let's see. I'm just gonna put a little bit of padding at the back of my chair, like that. All right, yeah, you might wanna watch this one first. This is a seated back arch, basically. So do you see how I've got the belt where the buckle of the belt is closest to me? Can you see that? It's closest to me. When I start, I put my hands in there and the buckle is closest to me. So then I take the strap behind my head. And so now, see, I'm able to tighten it. Voila. Okay, so now watch. I sit back in the chair. Get my buttocks way back there. My feet are just either on the inside or the outside of the chair. That's not to matter. So now I'm going to, my shoulder blades are roughly at the bottom, right? At the end of the, where the chair bar is. My neck is fully supported, Marcia. See? My neck is fully supported, so it's safe. So now I'm going to go over the back of the chair. It just so happens that I can reach the wall. I don't need to be in a wall. So I reach, buttocks back, reach up, lift your back up, and now bend, bend, bend. You may not go very far. Does anybody have any questions? Try it a Can you see how I have the strap? So I was able to tighten it because the buckle is on the outside. If the buckle had been here, it would have been more difficult. How we doing? Don't be so close to the wall, Doug. Yeah, you'll be too close to the wall. All right, when you start, can you start in Urdhva Hastasana with those arms behind your ears? Yes, yes, curve back. Yes. Go, keep going. Don't forget your head. Your head goes with you. Head back. Nice. Yeah. Come on, Mike. Bend, bend, bend. Yeah, this is where we get stiff in this thoracic spine. And Sopo, what's up? Go more. Can you go more? You got your buttocks all the way back? You gonna talk to me? Yeah. See where you don't want to bend? Mike, come up, and some of you might benefit from this. So I see you're not getting very far.
So where is the belt exactly? Is it closer to your elbows, or is it in the middle of the arm? I don't know.
If I put the strap on here, and now it's kind of difficult. If I get it all the way up here, it's possible, but it's here, and now I have to dive it behind my head. So now it's behind me. Both straps are behind me. And it's really low at the armpit chest and at the occipital ridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me try that now.
Yeah, and make sure it's tight. Pull it tighter. And so, Mike, did you see this? I added this. A little bit more padding. It might encourage you. I'd like to see if you can get the arms parallel to the floor. Push the feet down. So you tried it a couple times. Stand back up and do your back arch one more time. Make your strap all the way out. Yeah, did you try? Oh, it's a little better, Sopo. Reach your back. Stamp your feet down. Yeah, or you've got them into the chair legs, that's fine, but stamp your heels down. And reach, head back, head goes with you. Your neck should be happy. It's a little better, Mike. Keep reaching. Your right arm is stiffer. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, okay. Now one more time, the back arch. So I'm going the width of my sticky mat. Holding on, whoops. Holding on to the strap tightly to my body. I've got the strap here at the bottom of the wrist, and I pull. First, I just pull up. I pull up. I pull up. Then the trunk is responding to that upward movement by continuing to lift from the pubic plate all the way to the collarbones. Then I see, can I curve? And go back any amount. Yay. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, Virasana 1, the most famous of all standing poses to prepare the spine for back bending. Why? It elongates the spine. So what I'd like to try is the left foot at the wall, the right leg out. So the left foot slightly turned out, 60 degrees. Right leg out. So your mind, all of your mental acuity is going to stay in the opening of this back thigh. So the back thigh has to stay pressing back. First, just turn with your hips facing that right leg and feel the evenness of your two thumbs, you know, at your sacrum, and turn your trunk. Okay, now reach your arms up. Okay, mind on your back thigh. Press the top of the back thigh back. Don't let it leave the wall. Don't let it go anywhere. And bend into your square. Reach the arms up. Don't worry about looking up just yet. Bend into your square. Mind on your back thigh. Bend at the hip, bend at the knee. Trunk back a little, Suzette, and it's a nice pose. Trunk back, back leg back. Bend at the hip, let that right hip go down. Yeah, all right, so come up. Some of you are traveling. What is that in basketball? It's a foul, right? I'm an Indiana girl, so we come from basketball country. So let's see, let's show you this way. So what I see, though my heel is not at the wall, when you start to come forward, you're doing this. So in reality, it's this back thigh, staying back, staying back, staying back. You see the difference? Hopefully you could see the difference. I felt it in my body. The firmness of the back leg is what's going to help basically it's groins. It's opening up that top of the thigh for your back bends. Okay, let's try it on the other side. So left leg forward, right leg back. First, hands on the sacrum, so you feel the evenness across your pelvis and your buttocks are level across the back. Okay, and now reach both arms up. Imagine you still had that belt on you, right? Try to get your arms at least in line to your ears. Reach up. Reach up. Okay. Legs, maybe, can you step one more step further, Mike? With your front leg? Yeah. Okay, now, mental acuity on your back thigh. Right thigh staying back. Bend at the root of the left thigh. And take that knee, shin forward. Don't bring your right leg with you. Press your back leg back more and more. And now reach up, arms up, reach up. Nice, yeah. A little bit more, Marcia, if you can bend in that root of that thigh. Yes, good. Don't look down, Mike. Okay. Yeah, and you can look up if that's your final pose and you're good at looking up, you may certainly look up. Okay. Let's see, I always run out of time, right? I'd like to do that one again. It is so important. So step your right leg forward, left leg back. And this time you do not have to use the wall. If you like the wall, if it provided you with some support, if it provided you with some information, you know, do that. So let's see, I'll be the opposite side. So your right leg is forward, your left leg is back. Press down on that inner foot, front thigh, back, top of the back thigh. Okay, reach the arms up. Go up. Plug that tailbone forward, especially on the left side. Now bend and go down into your square. Go up, look up. Elbows in, Doug. Straight elbows. Come on, try a bend all the way. You've gotten better at that, so bend. Okay, inhale and come up. And then step your left leg forward. Oops, your right leg back. Wait there. Push so much with your front foot that you're really bringing your trunk back over the hips. Buttock down. It's like your tailbone is coming forward, down towards the floor, and forward, as if you could pull your tailbone towards, or as if I could pull my tailbone towards the camera. Now reach the arms up. Now the arms give you more extension. Elongate the spine. Inhale, exhale. Bend, keep your left thigh bending, keep your right thigh back. Come on, Mike. Bend, bend, bend. Go up with your trunk, down with the root of the left thigh, back with the right leg. Yeah, don't let your head come forward like that. Head back, head back. Yes, nice. Bend, bend at the root of the thigh. Arms strong to help you lift your trunk up. The arms can really help. Okay, now inhale and come up. All right, I'll give you a choice on this one. If you do good Paschima Namaskar, you may do Paschima Namaskar, that's the hands behind the back. The little finger must be in between the shoulder blades. If that's not possible, you'll do just Baddha Hasta. So with the right leg forward, reach your left arm from behind first, and the thumbs are in the inner elbow. Left arm, thumbs it, so it's Baddha Hasta. So this is going to be, oh, and if you want to use the wall, I'm fine with that. Use the wall. Right leg forward. This is Parshvottanasana in either Baddha Hasta, like this, or Paschima Namaskar. So hands together at the behind your back and move your little finger into your spine. Lift up, look up, exhale, go forward before you think about going down. So go forward more, forward, push the little finger side into your back, into your spine. And when you say, okay, that's about all I've got, then I can go down. And head down. So in either case, you're going forward as much as possible. And then going down. I don't have any. Oh, I have one. Okay, Julia. Yeah, so lift your elbows a little, Julia. Elbows. Yeah. Forward, forward, forward. Head down. Yeah, Suzette, you're pretty much there. The head can't come down. There you are. Yeah. Make your pose in your hips very compact. Squeeze the two sides of your hips together. Okay. Now inhale and come up very strongly and evenly. Step your feet together. And then just stretch your arms out. Tadasana. We have one more side. So you pick. You can do your arms crossing here. So with the left leg forward, the right arm goes back first. Wrap your thumb along the inside of the crease, elbow crease. And then step your right leg back, left leg forward. Okay, push down into that front foot so much that you bring your trunk over and turn your trunk. Inhale, look up, exhale, go forward, pull with your arms. If you've got the Baddha Hasta, pull your arms back as your sternum, chest goes forward. Okay, don't let the weight come heavy on that front leg, but pull up the kneecap, pull up the thigh. When you've got as far forward as you can, and then come down into the full pose. Okay, inhale, and stand up, step back together, stand in Tadasana. All right. Have a bolster. Let's see, I think you can see it this way. And another blanket, something like that. Sit in virasana. And then have 2 bricks as well. Those of you who don't do virasana, or can you do virasana on bolsters? Whatever you can sit in virasana. Here's my point. If you do your virasana, so the pose is this. It's paryankasana, done 2 different ways. So if you can sit in virasana, you keep those little toes down, you're sitting up nice and straight in virasana. Then this is not an issue, you know, you're going back until this is here. And then I've got this nice head blanket. So there's the easy version of the pose, or an easier version. Okay, so if that is not even possible, then whatever you sit on here, the back part has to be higher. So let's say I'm sitting on this for my virasana, right? That's the best virasana I've got. Okay, so then this is my bolster, and then I might even want to have a brick and a block back here. There are so many ways to do this pose. Where there's a will, there's a way. You just have to experiment with what is your capability. So if you're up high, then this chair edge is at the base of the shoulder blades. And then I curve over. It's quite nice, actually. I curve over the back edge. Then maybe I can use that chair bar to help me elongate and open up my armpit chest. So here's one version. It's quite nice, actually. I probably should have started everybody this way. Keep pushing your thighs towards your knees. That way, away from the pelvis. All right, does everybody have something that they can do for this first paryankasana? Make sure your head and your neck are supported. You need one more blanket, yeah, or block. That's it, Mike, good. Okay, and then Sopo, reach your hands all the way overhead, straight. Palms can face each other. Keep reaching, keep pushing your thighs towards your knees. You can tuck the buttock up and under you more and have more lift in that shoulder blade area, thoracic spine. So Lena, do you have another bolster? Do you have 2 bolsters? You could do this too. Oh. Shoot. If you had another bolster, or stack your blankets, you could do something like this. This is nice, where you're even that. It's right there, and then you just go back. That's quite nice too, and then I can reach for those chair bars. I can pull on those chair bars, and I get more length in the spine. Okay, so you guys are deciding what you can manage. Meanwhile, if you think that that's all you can do, then you're just going to stay there. And some of us are going to try version 2. So if you always do the same version, you'll never know, if you've progressed. So version 2, 2 tall, narrow bricks, one for the thoracic and one for the head. You may have to hold, I like myself to hold on to that first brick. There I am. How's it going? Yeah, that works well, Mike. Yeah. Did we lose you, Suzette? All right, so Suzette and Julia, maybe Marcia too. You're going to do one more version, but you don't have to change very much. I forgot to tell you to have a belt nearby. Now I want you to belt the upper thighs, at the root of the thigh. So you're still in the same pose. And you're belting way up high there, the root of the thigh. Okay, then you're repeating. Okay, just watch here, those of you who want to try this. So I'm going to pick the buttocks up as much as possible. You know, I'm somewhat strapped in here, but I'm picking the buttocks up a little bit, reaching. And now descend the buttocks and don't move your fingers one iota. Oh, bigger stretch in the thoracic. I don't know if you could tell or you could see that. So you lift the buttocks up just a little bit, and then, yeah, Doug wants to see again. So here I am. Okay, you see where my hands are. So I'm really reaching. So I lift the buttocks up a little bit possible, then slowly descend the buttocks and don't let the hands move. Push the buttocks down from that root of the thigh, going down the inner thigh, moving towards the knee. How much more do you get that armpit chest open? Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, now inhale and just sit up in virasana and take virasana as a twist. Just ever so briefly. Virasana as a twist. Left hand on the outside of the right thigh. Right hand behind. In fact, you can grab your left toes and pull that right shoulder back with the back elbow bent. You'll feel a nice stretch. Mike had said he was really stiff in the lower back today. You'll feel a nice stretch here in the across the sacrum and the outer hips. Lift up. I always tell my students to be snooty in their twists. So lift up the head. Okay, second side. Sit back straight. And then right hand crosses over the left. Left hand comes to the little toe side. And turn. We're not done with the back bending, but I just thought I'd give you a little break there. These twists are okay to do while you're doing a back bend sequence. Okay. All right, and now let's see. Okay. Just watch first. Same side you're doing. So I'm going to come into what might be the beginning of a runner's lunge, often called a runner's lunge. But you see this angle is a right angle from this thigh from the floor. This is a vertical. angle, right? So now you can have some bricks here if you feel you need them. This is good. So now you're simply going to bend more in the front knee, less in the back knee, and watch. I'll move these so you can see. I'm going to drag myself forward to get more of that back knee on the floor. Then I reach my arms up. This is a preparatory for Ekapada Raja Kapotasana. And we're not doing Raja Kapotasana today, but it's a good prep for the next stuff that we're doing. So I bend, I drag, and I'm getting more of the back leg thigh. This is what's getting open, right here. This front of the thigh, and this pelvis, and then I reach my arms up. If you have chronic low back or sacral issues, this can aggravate that area, but as long as you compact your outer hips and you lift up from the perineum, it won't bother. It will help. All right, so now you're in that square, and then you bend more completely, and then kind of slide, drag your back leg forward, taking your knee. But the front knee shouldn't go beyond your toes. And it can go just to your toes, end of your toes actually. But don't let the right heel come up. The right heel has to stay down. And you're trying to get more of your left thigh knee on the floor. Suzette, any more you got? Any more? Okay, now reach your arms up. Reach your arms up like Urdhva Hastasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Now can you feel? Yeah. Keep pulling your thigh of the back leg forward. Yeah. Does anybody feel this? Are you getting it? Yeah. Arm, elbows in. Yeah, nice, Mike. It's good. It's good to counter stretch, right? The hamstring, and then the front of the pelvic area and front of the thigh area. Okay, now step the other leg forward. Be it up tall. Let's do this one a little bit different. Let's take our arms up first. So if I'm here and I really feel how much more extension I get with the arms. Now reach that back foot back, extend your toes back, and then I start to bend forward, always reaching up, and I drag that back knee slightly forward. Compact the hips, pull the hamstring to the buttock flesh. That's important, Mike. Hamstring to the buttock flesh. You're trying to make your back leg straighter. Your back leg straighter. Yes. Bend at the crease. Don't look down. Yeah. Is anybody getting this? Do you understand what you're doing? Opening up. Yeah, it's really, the back leg is Vira 1. The back leg is Vira 1. And this opening has to be there for your up-faced back bendings. Okay, now release. Now take your strap, belt it very firmly just below the knees. So you're not on any knee bone, you're not on the patella. I'm here, and I'm bringing that belt in very firmly, just below my kneecap. Okay. Now, I somehow managed to go face down onto my mat. Good put your forehead down and take your hands and educate the skin of the trunk. It has to go forward this way. So here I am. I take my hands at the base of the pubis and I pull all that skin forward. Okay. Now I stretch my arms back. Turn those shoulders out. Palms can face one another. Strongly triceps to bone. Okay, now I pick the legs up. I pick the trunk up, and there I am in Shalabhasana. Now try to break your strap. Break your strap. Pull the toes apart, pull the knees apart. Keep reaching the strap. Keep trying to break the strap and reach your arms back. It's hard to teach and talk. Yeah, and then come down, relax. We'll do this 2 more times. Do you understand how what the strap is teaching the legs? First of all, they're stronger together. And when you really use your legs, you can lift your, extend your trunk further forward and get more into the pose. Yes, you still have to think about pressing the abdomen down and those things, but really reach those arms back. All right, so here we go again. When I do it again, I'm going to put my forehead back down, take my hands under, extend, kind of reach my palms alongside, and then palms face, and up I come. As if you could reach your feet. Reach for your feet. Pull the shoulders back. Lift up. Come up off your chest. Reach your arms back. Pull your strap apart. Broaden the back of your knees by pulling the toes more. Pull your toes apart. Okay, and then release. Okay, last one, you get to take your strap off. You might have grown to like the strap, but now you get to see how props, as we age, help us. So here I am. I always do that again with my forehead down. I extend the abdomen, chest forward. Okay, now if your legs come apart, I'm fine with that, but you have to lift the thigh off the floor. Reach the arms back. Inhale on your exhalation, go. Lift the thigh. Where you were working in the Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, you worked on that opening so much, so there should be lots of length there now. Extend the legs back, reach the arms back. All right, and then exhale, come down. All right, let's just do one Ekapada Bekasana. So wherever you can see the camera first, do that side. So my right arm is crossed in front of me or across the mat, and it's underneath my shoulder. And at first, I'm going to do a little bit of that, right, with one hand, and I kind of pull the trunk forward. And then I bend the left leg, reach behind on the inside of the foot, rotate that shoulder, and then press the foot. You're trying to get the foot as close to the floor as possible without distorting the thigh or the calf. Try to press forward with this front elbow to keep the trunk elongated. You can pump. Pumping is okay, but you're trying to get that foot as close to the floor as possible, undistorted. Both the foot, the thigh, or the calf. Pump. Turn that shoulder, rotate in that shoulder, move that shoulder blade deeper into your back. You have to hold at the top of the foot. If you're ever going to hope to get you have to hold the toes, and if you're ever going to hope to get the foot down. Yeah. Lift yourself up a little bit more, Mike. Bring your elbow closer to you. That supporting elbow, bring it right underneath your shoulder, your armpit. Yeah. Now bend that elbow, top elbow, you know, the one that's working. Bend that elbow, pump the foot. Oh, I can see we have some work to do here, huh? You know, it's about how that shoulder has to learn to rotate, huh? And the shoulders become stiff when we're old, when we get older. Some of you are a lot younger than me, but it happens. Okay. Second side, I'll turn around. Left arm across the trunk. So this is what I was talking about, where, you know, I'm still lengthening the trunk forward. This hand is pulling the trunk forward. Legs reach back. Okay, then the hand, so the shoulder has to rotate back so that shoulder is turning back. Then I bend and my elbow is bending into my spine. Elbow bends towards the spine. Then it can come forward, but the shoulder blade stays in. Pump a few times, 5 times maybe. Keep lifting the trunk up. How are we doing? You may have, you know, when you do the one-sided poses like this, you discover which foot is stiffer, which ankle is stiffer. This is the stiffer side for Mike. I see that. Yeah, nice. Sopo. Yeah. All right. Okay, kneel up. Grab your bolster again. Since not everybody has a wall, so I'm not going to worry about too much about that, but everybody, it looked like everybody had a chair, huh? So we could do this. The pose is Ustrasana. This, in essence, could be your wall. That could be your wall. So first order of the day is to hit the shins back. So I kind of press back. I don't know if you can see. Can you see how when I push, I kind of move the shin slightly back? Can you see that? So I'm activating that thigh to pull up to the buttock when I do that. All right, and then I'm going to put the bolster across the calves. Okay, now remember standing back arch. You could do that. Okay. Have a strap. Just thought. Let's try that. Base of the rib cage. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Push your thighs, your pelvis, whatever meets the wall or the chair. Push into that wall or chair. Shoulders back, trapezium down. Then I could just let go, and there's my bolster. So press the hands down and activate the back body towards the front body. So I'm pushing the spine into the back more, the shoulder blades into the back more, and I'm curving over for Ustrasana. So I have children calling me who still don't know my schedule. I have to text her. She's probably wondering, what is wrong with me? How are we doing? Okay, all right, and then the same goes, so Marcia's already doing that. The same goes for
Any neck issues, you can keep your chin tucked into your chest. But if you've moved the spine in like you're supposed to be doing and rolled those shoulders back, and you're really moving the shoulder blades up and in, your head just can't help but just curve back. Okay. All right, so I would like for you to do it a couple of times, and if you don't want to use the bolster, if your hands reach easily to your feet, then you don't have to use the bolster. So first I'm going to do it with my my thumbs in my sacrum, and I'm actually pulling the low back slightly down, the hamstring to buttock. I lift up, reach the feet. You can't press the crease at the buttock and the hamstring too much. That really has to work. So lift up that hamstring to that buttock crease. That's your stability in the pose. Okay, have you done at least twice? Okay, good. All right, I'm going to call this, you know how we go into the chair and we really work on chair Dvipada? I'm going to call this an all-out chair Dvipada, but it's relaxing, and I'll show you why. So I'm sitting through the chair. I just have a sticky mat on my chair. If you don't have a yoga chair, you can do this across any dining chair. You don't have to have the chair bar. So I sit near the edge. My feet aren't going to go to anything. So I'm going to work here just a bit, holding onto that chair bar, doing this part that we worked on with, you can use your hands. Hey, let's just use our hands. So my thumbs are at the bottom of my ribs, and I'm picking my rib cage up. So then I keep that, hold on, here. So I have that in my muscle memory, okay? Then hold the back of the chair, scoot the buttocks way forward, sacrum near the edge of the chair. Then I lay down, and I go over the chair and straighten the legs. So my whole back, in essence, is supported on the chair. The feet don't have to go into the wall. They can, it's okay. So imagine somebody is got their two hands and they're pressing your thighs down. Press your thighs down, pull the hamstring up to that buttock crease juncture and press that down. So you're doing an all-out, Dvipada, chair Dvipada Viparita Dandasana, but it's done a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more supportive. You're getting the full length of the spine. Reach the arms overhead this time. See that most of your back is still on the chair. Your head is hanging. If that's a problem, yeah, have support. You can have a bolster for your head. So be like that. Let's see. Yeah, Mike, you look like you came off the chair too much, Put a little bit more of your shoulder blades on the chair. Yeah. Now curve, press the tops of the thighs down. Yeah, keep coiling, keep moving the spine deeper into your back, reach the arms overhead. Work your legs here. Press the thighs down. Pull the hamstrings up to the buttock crease. Your legs, your hamstrings, your quads should be sore tomorrow. And you should thank me for creating the space. So here, you know, BKS used to say a lot in his classes. He would tell us, just don't bend, create space. So think about, you know, the space you're creating in this pose. Create more and more space by getting the length of the spine, by moving the spine deeper into yourself, because as we age, it moves away, it moves out. And then we become stiff and decrepit. And we don't want that. At least I don't want that for you. So this is my all-out chair Dvipada, gentle, you know, as opposed to holding the chair legs and doing all that work in the back. Here, you're just getting the shape of the pose in a more supportive, gentle way. Okay, so bend your knees, climb a little bit more, your buttocks onto the chair seat, and then head up, back up, head is the last thing to come up. All right. Okay, now here, I'm gonna put a blanket first, then a sticky mat. Everybody can do this. You wanna be about 2.5 to 3 feet away from the wall. But watch first. We're almost done, almost done. So I think you can see all of me, yes. So I've got my heels up the chair legs. You can see that? So this is, you know, I don't think anybody's incredibly tall, so you don't need a tall chair. I'm just building this up a little bit because I am a little long in the torso. So this build up, it's some padding, yes, but it's also for me slightly building up because I'm long here. So I'm gonna go over, come up, and I go over till this area is right at the bottom of my shoulder blades. And now I reach into the wall. So here, let me take that back a little bit because I'm gonna feel a little close. And I'm going to pretend to be a very stiff person. If I was a very stiff person in the upper thoracic, I might be here. And I just work on this part. So some of you might just be working here. So I press the heels into the chair. This has to pull up, hamstring to buttock, and then reach for the wall. Walk down the wall as you are able. And open up that armpit chest. See what happens when you stay. Try to stay. Always reaching the arms a little bit further down the wall. You can just arch over and keep the elbows bent, coil, curve, lift your chest up, the sternal notch coming towards the chin. Walk your hands down, Julia, down the wall, any amount. Keep lifting on that hamstring buttock connection. Okay, when you come down, just observe the state of your mind. What do back bends give us? They give us upliftment. They give us courage, fortitude, power. They're very strong. You okay, Mike? You okay? All right. you know, especially during these times, you know, that upliftment is just so very valuable and necessary. At the same time, you know, we have to practice, you know, we still have to have compassion for ourselves and affection for ourselves. So we also need to know what we need. You know, one good thing that comes with age is wisdom. Well, guess what? It also comes with good practice. When you practice more, the more the wisdom comes, right? Yeah, you just learn so much about yourself and about the world. All right, so you felt like you did enough of that. All right, so then I'm going to show the easiest way to do to begin your work on if you've never had success in doing Urdhva Dhanurasana ever before in your life, and this is the first time you're doing it, this is the way you should be taught. So if like Sopo and maybe Julia or anybody else who wants to just go on and do 6 Urdhva Dhanurasanas from the floor, have at it. If you want to learn step by step on the gradual ways of learning to do the pose, the first way is from the chair. So you turn the chair around. You're pretty close to the wall because those hands are going to go into the wall. Do everything you've done before, right? So this would be your first attempt, and maybe you just touch and go, touch and go. And if you say, okay, I'm doing really well, come up. What happens if you work your legs more? You might lift up that top chair bar. Come down. Come up. Okay, that's stage 1. So if you think that that's you, that's where you need to be, do that one. The second way, let's say you've done that for 5 or 6 weeks, and you might be ready for the next step. Then you would do it from 2 bolsters and 2 bricks. And I always like to take my bolsters and kind of tie them together so they don't go anywhere. Okay. 2 bricks. So you're pretty high up. Look at the difference. Do you see? It's not much different. But there's something about the difference from going from earth to ether versus ether to earth. So here you're a little bit higher up. I even curve the back of my neck over my bolster's edge. And I try to tuck those shoulders under, get the hands on the bricks. Walk the feet in. And I just go straight up. I don't stop. I just go up. I walk in. I lift. The heels back down. And I've got a safe place to come down. So you have to decide where you are, and if you don't even need that, or you could try with 1 bolster. If you think you might just need a little bit of help, try with 1 bolster. 1 bolster. 1 bolster. Actions are the same. So already with one bolster, I can still tuck and roll and begin to lift my chest. Here my elbows are down and my chest, it's hard to see, but the very center of my chest is off the bolster. So I've already got that going. I keep that and go up. Walk in, come up on my tippy toes, kiss the wall, heels down. And come down. Everything feels so good because of the prep work that we've been doing. Okay, I get to watch you guys. So I'd like for you to do 3 on your own, however you're doing it. I lost Lena. And Marcia, put the energy into those legs. Put the energy, lift the buttocks up, go closer to your wall. Okay, if you're done with all that, you're doing Prasarita Padottanasana with the back on the wall. Prasarita Padottanasana, back on the wall. So let's see. Probably better for me to show on this wall here. So I go, not as wide as a full Prasarita, but somewhat. I bend over, get my back on the wall, and then I walk my feet up and I go a little wider. And I just let the back and the head and neck go down the wall as I press the thighs back. I'm still rolling the front of the thighs in, spreading the backs of the thighs out. You can just have your hands either at your feet or just resting the elbows on the floor. Try to get as much of your shoulder blades down the wall in this Prasarita. All right. Now, this here. All right, now it's Uttanasana, sort of the same way, but turned around, sort of the same way. So here we go. I have this always made up in my studio as my little roll blanket prop. I step about 12 to 14 inches away from the wall, wide Uttanasana stance. I let the buttocks go back. And I pull that at the, the root of the pelvis, okay? And then I go forward and go all the way forward first. So that this corresponds where it's helping opening this back of the waist and kidney band area. So I go forward. Then Baddha Hasta, hold the elbows. Keep stretching your toes forward, letting the back go down. This is a supported Uttanasana that is often done after. So where's your roll, Mike? Come on, use your roll. Take a blanket inside that roll. Put the blanket inside. Some of you meet a lot, he even told me at the beginning of class, his lower back was bothering him. So this is very, very good for it. Yeah, put a blanket inside the roll or the blanket on the outside, whatever feels nicer. Roll it, make it fat. Yeah, make it fat. Now bend your knees a little bit. Yeah, and get that roll in there. And now go forward. Yeah, don't worry about straightening your legs all together. If it's too much, Mike, you don't have to. Okay, observe yourself, observe your state of mind. You know, are you finding that space we created today? Or are you just saying, gosh, I can't wait for this class to be over? Observe yourself. That's your job. I can't do that. I can't, it's hard to see. Although my daughter's going to spend a couple days with me over Christmas, and she's going to help me get my monitor installed. So watch out come January. All right. And now you're going to come up, and this is how you're going to do your Shavasana. You might need, here's what I need. I need to open this blanket up and make it nice and long like that. And then I roll it this way. I put it across the top of the ankles, and I scoot in, and then I put it underneath the base of the hips. And then you're gonna do Shavasana like this. Now, if that's not comfortable, do whatever you want, but we worked a lot on this area, and it just needs to do nothing and just receive this opening. So make sure the shoulders are still tucked under. Reach your arms as you would for Shavasana. Close your eyes completely. Observe yourself everywhere. Let your breath come to a softer, more shallow place. Let loose everywhere. Don't hold any muscle contraction anywhere in the body. Can this position, you know how in swastikasana at the beginning of class I asked you, how can that position bring you to a mental state for your practice? Now, how can this position bring you to a mental state for your Shavasana? Invite peace to come within. It's a hectic week for most of us, but just let all that go for even just a minute. Be there completely with yourself. Be at rest. Burdens aside. It's like you get a major timeout. Have a sense of affection and compassion for yourself as you rest in the seat of your abode. The sternum is said to be the seat of our spiritual heart. So can you put your mind there at the sternum? Okay, now roll gently over to one side. Use your hands to bring the left leg over to the right and head towards the floor. Use your left hand to push and then your right hand, and your head's the last thing that comes up. Sit up in Vajrasana, virasana, swastikasana. Take a moment to feel what you feel. I used 3 words, I think: upliftment, courage, and power. That's what the back bends, in essence, give us. And we need that this week. We need that to get through the rest of this pandemic. Do your back bends. I do back bends at least once a week, rigorously, sometimes twice a week if I feel like I need it. This has been one of those weeks. Last week was one of those weeks. Bring your hands to your heart. Bow down to your practice in humility, devotion, and gratitude. Namaste.